my taste has grown and changed, and my ratings have gotten a little more strict. Like, I'm a little tougher on the books that I read. So far in 2023, I've had 9 5-star reads, and I feel like 9, that's a pretty good amount. Just to give you guys some statistics, I'm on book 58 this year, so it's July 1st right now. For 6 months in, to have 9 5-stars, I think that's pretty good. We are gonna go all the way back to January, my first 5-star read. And actually, I think it was the first book I read in 2023 got 5 stars. And I've talked about it a ridiculous amount in other videos, so if you just want to skip, you guys can use the timestamps below. Of course, I put them all out of order, so this one's on the bottom. Okay. The first book I rated 5 stars in 2023 was Waking Olivia by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I have talked about this book an absurd amount, okay? This book is about Olivia and Will. Olivia is a sleepwalker. She sleepwalks, or sleep runs actually. She does track in college. Will is her coach. There isn't a big age gap. He's like the assistant coach to the actual coach, and he helps her through this sleepwalking problem that she has. So she's kind of like an ill-tempered, dramatic, stubborn teammate, and she kind of goes through a lot of issues herself. Just like in her past, she went through something very, very traumatic, which led to this sleep running habit she has at night. So Will kind of helps her out and is like, hey, I know you're kind of stubborn, no one really likes you, I don't even really like you, but let me help you through this problem because I want you to be the best track star on our team. And he does, and then eventually they fall into the thing we call love. There is some good spice in here, but I would say the plot is just so unique and entertaining. That's why I really, really liked it. I wouldn't say like I read this for the smut only. Like, the smut is good. It's steamy. It's great. I recommend this book out of my butt. Like, all the time. I'm like, read this book. Waking Olivia, please. It's great. It's unique. It's different. I still haven't read Drowning Aaron by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I'm pretty sure Aaron is Olivia's like best friend or like roommate or something in this book. So they're kind of like connected, sort of. I think Elizabeth O'Rourke has really, really good writing too. So if you're like picky about writing, but you also want the smut, I want everyone and their mother to read this book. The next book, it disappeared. I don't know where any of my Taylor Jenkins Reid's books went. Her books disappeared. Listen to the copies of books that I have from her. I have Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Carrie Soto is Back just came in the mail the other day, and that one's on that shelf over there. So I have that one. Daisy Jones and the Six, which we're about to talk about. I have One True Loves and one more. Oh, Malibu Rising. 4 books have disappeared. I have no idea where they went. I really don't know. Like, I was like, maybe my friend borrowed them, but like, I don't remember giving them to her. So I don't know where my Daisy Jones copy is right now. At the moment, it's missing. I rated Daisy Jones and the Six 5 stars. Now looking back, I don't know if I rated this book 5 stars because I loved the characters and the plot and the quotes, or if I loved it because of the experience. I listened to this as well as had the physical, and the listening experience was just unlike any other. Such a good experience to have. All of the different characters had different narrators. It was like that interview format, so each line and each character had their own narrator. Like, it was just, I know this isn't like a new idea to like have different narrators, but it was just a very, very well done audiobook, and I was just kind of blown away by all of the beautiful quotes that were in there and how powerful love could be, especially in a book like this where it's not true love. It's like lust and full of passion and art and music rather than like physical love. Like, there's different elements of love, and I think that Daisy Jones and the Six really captured how different love can be for everyone. The next 5-star read is Finley Donovan is Killing It. If you're not into murder mystery, you would still like this book. It's very much goofy, cozy, fun. Like, I know that's kind of messed up to say when there's a literal murder involved, but it's just a different pace. Like, if you're, I'm describing this so poorly. Finley is just such a cool mom. She has 2 kids. She's kind of struggling. She's going through a divorce. There's a lot going on in Finley's life, but the fact that she can spend time and like figure out a murder and kind of get involved in it somehow, really funny. And I don't know, it was just a good comedic relief. I think this book I needed because before this I had read something pretty dark. I just fell in love with her, and I have read the second one. I haven't read the third, but it's on hold on Libby. So whenever it comes available on Libby, I will read the second one. Entertaining, like it does. It feels like it could be a TV show. Actually, that would be a really good TV show. I don't know if I would watch it due to my anxiety, but it would still be great. Pick it up. The next 5-star read that I had is a sad one. It's a traumatic one. It's one that will tear your heart to pieces and then build it back together. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Oh my god, I gotta sneeze. Say You Swear. I did tab this one a little bit, not very much. I do have 2 blue tabs right here, which means I cried very close back to back. So this book is on Kindle Unlimited, I believe. Read it in this vlog right here. Let's start with the characters. There's a lot of characters. They're all very close. They grew up together. There's a little bit of a love triangle going on. No, not a little bit. There's a big love triangle going on. That is kind of the premise of the book. I was not expecting the drama and the trauma that would come out of this book. Like, I was so traumatized by the end because I was like, what just happened? And I kind of saw it coming in that vlog you even see. I kind of saw it coming, but you don't really expect it to come, and then it does, and you're like, Megan Brandy really just did that. And it broke my heart. Really, really hard to get over. And when you finish the book, you feel a little bit better, right? It's kind of like happy ending, of course. But you don't think that while you're reading it, and you're just bawling your eyes out because of something that happened. And this is definitely going to be a reread. I think all of these 5 stars are rereads. That's kind of how I predict a 5-star. It's wonderful, but it's so terrible all at the same time. Serpent in the Wings of Night. I bought this copy after I read it on Kindle because I loved it so much. We have Oraya. She is a human. Her father is a vampire. Her like adopted father. He like, you know, found her, whatever. She grew up in a house full of vampires. So she has been on high alert since she was a child. Like, she has just always been fending for her life. And there comes a challenge, literally a challenge. I don't remember what it's called, but you enter this challenge, this like 3-month-long contest. Basically be granted one wish from a goddess. And if you win this competition, you get this big wish. She's the only human in this contest, and everyone else is vampires. And it's like, so much goes down, and it's so smutty and wonderful. It's a really big slow burn. I would say it's a little enemies to lovers, maybe because everyone's an enemy to her, so it's not necessarily like they hate each other. It's more like she hates everyone. She has her guard up with everyone. I did read the second book, didn't love it as much. I read the novella in between too, also didn't really love that one, but it's still a great series. It's a really cool world, or like you're wanting that romantasy vibe. This is great. Like, you're gonna get something out of this. Next 5-star, my camera's about to die, so I need to plug it in. The Right Move by Liz Tom. Oh, that's Mile High. Oops. That got 4.5 stars. That did not get 5. The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. This is the second book in the Windy City series, and the third book comes out soon. I don't even know where to begin with Liz Tom Ford. Her characters and the depth that these characters have. I feel like I repeat this all the time when I talk about these books. The depth is just unlike any other contemporary romance book I've ever read. These people have, you see their like day-to-day mental issues. You know, like we all have insecurities. We all have things that we're struggling with and like what we're going through. And in romance books, you typically don't get that. Like, you kind of just see the highlights of like each person's week, right? No, you get the nitty, the gritty, like everything in this book. In her books, honestly, like Liz Tom Ford goes into so much depth and like character development. Ryan is a professional basketball player. He's like the basketball player. He's like the Michael Jordan of this world. And then we have Indy. Indy is this bubbly, fun, loving, everyone loves her. She's just like this ball of sunshine. She throws up rainbows everywhere, like a shining light. Indy ends up living with Ryan. Indy has gone through something very traumatic, and so has Ryan in his past. So they both have like trauma. They are living together. Ryan is like, she's a mess. Indy's like, he's a dick. They don't really love each other at the beginning, but Indy like really tries hard to like be friends with him because that's who she is. She just wants to be friends with everyone. And you kind of see them like develop and like their relationship grow because of the things that they have to work through together to like be good roommates. I don't want to spoil anything. If you haven't read this series, please do. If you like Chestnut Springs, that cowboy series, I think this is a better version just in like sports romance. Like, obviously there's no cowboys. The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. I did give Mile High originally 5 stars because that's the first book in the series, and I was like, it's amazing, like this is the best book ever. And it was until I read this one, and I kind of bumped that one down to 4.5 because I was like, it's not as good as this, but they're still equally just like so good. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. We're kind of shifting gears here. I feel like I've had a lot of romance. Now this is historical fiction, and I have been getting into historical fiction recently. I think it's kind of nice. It's a nice switch up. It's a nice break from my like romance sometimes. This book is set in World War II. There is a lot of, I would say, trigger warnings in this. I feel like any World War II book, you're gonna have some trigger warnings, but Kristen Hanna's writing is so impressive. And I think that if you're looking for something with a lot of detail and you're looking for the audiobook, wonderful, just so you know. If you're kind of looking for something new, I always recommend trying a new genre with an audiobook, see if you like it. I don't really have much to say about this one. Like, I don't really want to spoil anything, but it's also World War II. Like, we all know what happened. You know, it's about two sisters who lead very different lives. Kristen Hanna does a beautiful job at showing two very different roles that women could have had during World War II. So like you have the sister who kind of wanted to rebel. She wanted to fight against the Nazis and fight. And then you have the other sister who wanted to stay at home and take care of her children and protect her family and continue to provide. And you kind of see both sides. You're gonna cry. 5-star. The next book is kind of a typical one. You guys might know what it is. It's called Fourth Wing. I don't have the physical copy on me right now. I lent it to a friend. I'm not even going to talk about this book. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's just, you have to read it. Everything about it is just like what I needed. It definitely falls in the same like category, I think, of like romantasy, Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, Jennifer Armentrout, like every romantasy book out there that got popular in like 2016, 2017, 2018, all of those romance books with a little bit of fantasy, that's what it is. I don't really want to talk about it because I feel like it's everywhere, so I'm not going to. And I saw so much foreshadowing. Like the foreshadowing that I hope stuff happens in book 2 is just gonna blow me away. The last and the 9th 5-star book that I've given so far in 2023 was Heartless by Elsie Silver. This book I just read recently. It's a cowboy romance. Again, kind of gives me the same feeling that Liz Tom Ford books do, because the depth of these characters is just... Heartless is about Cade and Willa. Cade is a single dad. He definitely went through some trauma with his previous relationship, and he has full custody of his son. Where Willa comes in, Cade is looking for a nanny. Willa kind of trots her way into town and is like, I'm looking for a job. So she ends up taking the job as Luke's nanny. It kind of just blossoms from there. It's grumpy sunshine, dual POV. But more so than the book, I loved Willa. Willa is my go-to main female character. She is top 5 for sure female contemporary romance characters. Character development, her wit, her humor, she just made me laugh. She was so strong. Like, everything about Willa is what I look for, and I want to be like her. Like, I want to be her so bad. And the way she just described kind of gave me like Rachel McAdams vibes. Like, that's how, kind of like a raspier voice, maybe like Sophia Bush. I think I said that in my reading blog. I also really loved like how Willa just kind of inserted herself in this family's life. She just like was a tornado and like blew in and changed everyone's lives in this family. And that's exactly like, I love those kinds of books, you know? They're heartwarming, they're cute, kind of Hallmark movie, but not as cheesy. Those are the 9 books that I gave 5 stars so far. Like, I feel like I've been... This year, 2023, I'm on year 3 of reading 100+ books a year, and I feel like my taste has grown and changed, and my ratings have gotten a little more strict. Like, I'm a little tougher on the books that I read because I've read a little bit more, and I have like that idea of what books I'm looking for and what I like in a book and what I don't, so I'm just getting pickier, and I think that's good. It means my taste is growing and changing, and I think we all should grow and change at some point. All of my social media is linked down below if you want to follow me on there, my Bookstagram, my Instagram, and my Goodreads. I will see you guys in the next video. Comment down below a 5-star read, or if we had any similar 5-star reads. I would love to hear your opinion, and I will see you guys in the next video.